This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Vauldemare here with our final episode of Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment with my friend Dr. Watson here. I want to do a little bit of last checking before I leave. Let's check
One
these
of Foley's
bandits.
companions. He is unconscious.
His name is not important to the annals of time. How about you?
One of Foley's companions. He is unconscious.
Well, one for probably hitting his... He probably bent his leg, because if you see the scene, his leg goes backwards. Oh my god. That does not sound awesome. The cops don't have anything to
Holmes,
say.
I had no doubt that you would catch the thieves.
The
We
trap
caught
with the
the thieves.
chandelier worked perfectly. Charles Foley has been knocked down.
Wow, crazy indeed. But you know what? I've seen... we've captured these guys. I don't think they killed those dudes. I think my brain's gotten a little funky. I think the one guy did it. There's just no way. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He did the crime for double murder. Leighton Chapman, I'm sorry, Wiggins. Your brother did it. Let's condemn him. He deserves it. Let's see him get what he deserves. He deserves to be hung like the pig he is. Let's go wallow in our glory as we set this boy to the who's go forever. Because we just want to get this done and back to our game of craps and smoking cocaine and snorting opium or however you do it. I don't know. I don't do drugs. I want to see what happens. What happens to Mr. Chapman?
Leighton Chapman, a long-held grudge against your acquaintance, Brian Vercotti, led to the dreadful murder in Half Moon Street. You killed Brian Vercotti and his companion, Kenneth Butler, with cold single-mindedness. The law will not tolerate that.
No, it's not true. I'm innocent.
It's all over now, lad. The clues speak for themselves. Now you'll have to face up to justice.
Mr. Holmes, but you promised to save him.
Aww. Leighton Chapman is a vicious murderer, killed his old acquaintance over a long-standing grudge. You have decided to severely punish him for his crimes by imprisoning him for life. Alright, anyway. Enough about being a jackass. Let's see what let's see what happens if we absolve him for the exact same crime. 'Cause the thing is, it's very similar except for a couple lines. That's kind of the problem with doing that, is that it's not drastically different. Not that I expect it to, but it's one of those things. So let's go ahead and see. Let's see what the double murder one does, but if you absolve him of the crime instead of hold on. Yeah, absolving is A in this case. Alright, let's see what happens when we choose absolution, my friend. How will Holmes react to the accidental death of his two friends? Perhaps he did do it and he's just lying to try and be around for Wiggins. But we're not giving in to his folly, but we have somewhat of a heart. We're the great detective, right? Let's see what he says. It's probably not going to be a whole lot different. I mean, might as well show all the endings this time, unlike the other ones.
You did commit a double murder in Half Moon Street. It was due to a long-held grudge against one of your victims, Brian Vercotti. However, your brother Wiggins came to me. He needs you as much as you need him. I have faith that you will not err again, so I have decided that you shall avoid a harsher fate.
But no, it didn't happen like that.
We have solid evidence, Chapman. You cannot deny it. A crime is a crime, but Mr. Holmes has convinced us to ease your sentence. Don't make us regret it.
Mr. Holmes, but you promised to save him.
Wah. Committed murder with personal motive. You decide to imprison him. His sentence will be shortened due to the fact that he's still a young, albeit foolish and impressionable man. His younger brother Wiggins will be left completely alone. Womp. Alright. I'll show the other one where it's theft, but it's probably going to be the exact, similar dialogue. That's, like I said, that's why I always was kind of reticent of showing the other endings in the other cases, because a lot of them are very similar to each other, which you have seen in a couple of cases. But all right, let's switch to robbery. Let's see if let's see how that reacts. Let's condemn him for murder for robbery. How dare you? Life in prison. Gotta put you in prison, boy. Got to wait it with whittles. You're going to prison with whittles and a 500-pound man named Rico. It'll be glorious. Kind of looks like Sherlock Holmes is tired, like he's got bags under his eyes or something. And he probably hardly ever sleeps. All right, let's see what this making him
So, Mr.
pay
Chapman,
for his crimes of
you
stealing.
committed a murder with only one purpose: to obtain a set of valuable antiques.
What? No, that's nonsense.
The only question that remains: where is the missing ring?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
You are a clever one. Do you think that this secret will spare you the gallows? Or prison for life?
Mr. Holmes.
Okay, we already heard him saying, it's as a vicious murder committed the kindness to jury, you decide to severely punish him. Alright, let's do the other one and then we'll do. Yeah, this is like the endings episode. I'm just showing you all the endings. That's all it's going to be. We'll make a little game of it. Every time Wiggins says, no, you were going to save him, take a drink. or Holmes being wrong every time I do this. Alright, let's absolve him and see what the dialogue difference is in that. Alright, let's absolve Chapman. Like I said, it'll be the same conversation, except in this case it'll be like, yes, but it was merely an accident. You were a poor, impressionable young lad of early or late 19th century England. Or, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, if you mention like Great Britain, England, and what's the other one? There's like a third one, isn't it? Like, if you say it wrong over there, man, they will just beat your rear. They're just like, my brother, and I'm like, I don't live over here. I'm sorry, I don't live in this country. I live in America, where
You committed a terrible crime, Leighton Chapman. You killed 2 people with the intention of obtaining a set of valuable antiques.
What? That's a mistake. I didn't do it.
However, your brother Wiggins came to me. He needs you as much as you need him. I have faith that you will not err again, so I have decided that you shall avoid a harsher fate.
Mr. Holmes has convinced me to ease your sentence, but you'll still be imprisoned, lad.
Mr. Holmes.
you take a drink, folks. You're signed in prison, his sentence will be shortened due to the fact that he's still, same thing as before. All right, now let's do the actual ending of the game now instead of these. Although technically I could have shown these endings when I first got them, because you don't have to keep them. It's just, let's just get them all out of the way at once, just to show all the endings of a. Well, not all the endings, but the endings to specific cases, if anything. All right. Anyway, let's do the actual criminal this time. All right. Let's see. Foley's Vengeance. Alright, let's go ahead and do the first one. We'll go and do the condemn one first. It's kind of weird that they switched up in this one. All the others, A was condemn, X was absolve, but for some reason they decided to switch it. I don't know why. Anyway, let's condemn Charles Foley for his wicked plan of vengeance against those who had wronged him. So let's do that. Condemn. And in the first time, I'll actually show you what
Foley,
happens
You committed
afterwards.
the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful. You Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
I guess we're going to do, since it's the actual ending, we get actually a little bit extra scenes. Obviously, I think, what was it, the Bloody Bass case is like one of the few where, you can't, except for like a specific reaction, you can't quite tell who's obvious until, like when the guy reacts to the golden knife, then you're like, okay, he actually did it. Now you just have to figure out how he did it. But most of the other cases are pretty straightforward.
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No life shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people? Sending them to their deaths in mines, or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
Is that like one last decision of the game or something like that? Oh, let's see. Oh, we can throw out the cigarette, or we can throw the cigarette into the burning thing. Interesting. All right. Well, since I chose to do the one track, we'll see what the blowing up the powder does, and then I'll show
when people fight the order,
the one later.
They are too blind to see the consequences that throw society into chaos. I shall stop your actions, but not you. Run. Now!
Well, talk about an explosion. Talk about explosive results. Yeah!
So, you're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
Your truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole Empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft. Not I, not Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
Not by me. You created the merry men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more merry men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbor. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
Half Moon Watch. Charles fully organized and executed a wicked plan of revenge for his elder brother. It took 2 human lives and almost resulted in life imprisonment for an innocent man. In fact, his band was hired by the merry men who planned a revolution to London. In addition, he organized the theft of ancient and valuable treasures that rightfully belonged to the British Empire. He deserves the rope. Alright, now I'll show you the other ending. It'll probably be the exact same except for a few differences, and obviously I'll probably just throw the cigarette into the water. Really, that is a thing of chaos that's like a little too extreme. I don't know. Like I said, there's never a right or a wrong answer in this case. Like I said, Watson put it best that at least in the story, Sherlock Holmes and Watson are more reminiscent of the people who serve the truth, but not like any politics. So they just want to know how it came down. After that is left up to other people. All right, let's do the absolve fully choice line. And then we'll throw the cigarette into the bucket and see what that changes. I assume the ending
Charles
with Mycroft
Foley,
is a
you
bit
were
different.
A witness to a double murder. You were standing next to Vercotti when Butler fired at your accomplice. The jeweler missed him, but they proceeded to kill each other with simultaneous shots. Even if your intention was to retrieve the stolen treasure, you did not intend to kill. I shall inform Inspector Lestrade of that fact, so your sentence should be the lighter.
You are a fine gentleman, with your fake pity.
I do what I think is right. It is never due to pity. Farewell, Foley. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
I'm almost thinking that the end with Mycroft is a bit different depending on how, like, what your personality is by the end of the game. Like, if you're more, you know, severe punishment type, maybe you might agree more with Mycroft. I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing. You have to play through the whole game and choose the other options for the end of cases to get that, but I assume the credits themselves are pretty much the same, but I'm going to do a quick little...
Be careful.
Good.
Who's there?
I'm sorry, I'm going to
That is of
skip
no
past this because we already know.
Eventually, yes.
Hey, we were forced.
Okay, so...
We are not only, but men for those. The fear, bankers, and they put. But in the, we should not fear. The time has come for our group. We are going to blow up. They're only
That is
chaos. They will be able to work for themselves.
what you are intending.
How do you? And how many? Our masters wouldn't... Will you let us...
Alright, and then let's see what happens when we throw it into the bucket instead.
When the law serves only the few, it can no longer be trusted. Every man is equal, and he has a right to choose his own way. And I shall not stop you.
And obviously we don't get the obvious awesome explosion in there. You know. Now we get to talk to Mycroft. How he's probably like, you saw them and didn't let them get caught. What's wrong with you? There is some truth in what he says, because law is supposed to serve all man, not just a select few. You know, so that's another set of even.
You're interested in Russian literature now.
Quite.
Let's see. If,
It is an interest.
Really?
Yes, Doc.
let's see.
They were all. Tell me,
Not that...
because you see, Doc,
Well,
his love and his duty that, in the first place, should be direct. I should leave now.
Okay.
Sherlock, Dr. Watson.
Oh, we don't even have that. Oh.
Holmes, what just happened? What was that?
The start of a new world. Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbor. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait. What? A lady?
We don't know what that is. Alright, no doubt Charles Farley being imprisoned. He organized the theft of ancient treasures that rightfully belonged to the British Museum. So that ending with Mycroft was a little bit different, just if you choose to blow it up or let the water thing there. But anyway, he planned a revolution in London, but he did not directly commit the murder. He decided that under the circumstances, sentence be short-lived. And I'll show you exactly that at the end. It shows you that you can actually check to see if you chose the right decision. This will be the one time I'll show you guys that. Basically, I mean, like I said, it may spoil the game experience, but it doesn't actually affect anything by choosing that. But anyway, let's choose the chapter and finalize the end of the game. I am a man of compassion. I'm a man around town. Their crimes, your punishment. Well, and I guess really all that I can say is it's pretty much the end of the game. I guess you can see kind of the results of their decisions and what happened and all that. She's having memories about him being dead. There's the guy killing his the guy with a golden knife. It's kind of showing them. You can tell that they're just visualizing what's going to happen to him. It's like, and he will be taken care of. There's the lady who had a romance with the other dude. But well, I guess I could, since it's the credits, I could talk about. So, how do I feel about this game? It's kind of interesting. Because I'm a fan of Sherlock Holmes like stories and stuff like that. And yes, Sherlock Holmes is one of those characters that's almost too perfect with like how he figures out everything. And well, is that really so much different with a lot of stories? But anyway, it's a... And I thought this was another fine entry. I mean, not a perfect entry, but I thought it was another fine entry into a supposed fictional look into the life of a fictionalized character, Sherlock Holmes. Graphically, it wasn't too bad for what it is. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, it wasn't like... It wasn't unappealing. There was actually a lot of nice looking areas, so it wasn't like horrible. And there was a ton of different locales to go to, train station to a mine to, the back streets of London. The characters, I don't know what the word would be on that. I guess there were some interesting characters, enough to where, I mean, because you're doing 6 cases, so you can't have you can't have like just full-on conversations with people about their whole lives. You can only get about what you're gonna do with the game. So it gives you just enough to know like what they're about and what their interests are, but nothing more. This game had a few glitches, but nothing that was too ridiculous. I mean, for a game like that, I wouldn't give this game like a 10 out of 10 type of game. It's more along the line. This is one of those games that's kind of, it's definitely situational with who will like it. Like your standard gamer who's like more of a action adventure probably won't like this as much, because I mean that's just not what it is. It's a puzzle game, basically, point and click adventure. That's the simplest term I could give it. Because I mean it's just you walking around solving not too difficult puzzles. Because really in most cases, except for maybe like one of them, the who did it was pretty obvious. And even then, the one I kind of screwed up on was I mean obvious too when you think about it. It just means I was just a little lacking. But overall, puzzles weren't super hard. All you had to do was just kind of look around and find the clues. And it was basically just trial, hit or miss, really. I assume it's just gonna go to the. Oh, what's this? Oh, is it just showing some of the final stuff here before the task, crime, and punishment? We're at Baker Street. We get to see our final final choice here. I guess we didn't get a. Oh, we got the Merry Men souvenir as our finale there, and we just see Sherlock Holmes smoking for the rest of the game. But yeah, if I had to give this game a score, I'd probably give it like either a 5 or 6, and that doesn't mean it's bad. It's very a situational game. And have I played better point-and-click adventures? Sure, you know, ones that are not so much longer, but maybe have a better atmosphere to it. But I mean, it is what it is, and I enjoyed it for what it was. You know, I mean, you got the sense of who Sherlock Holmes was. It had a few silly moments with him and Watson, and you know, you got their personalities down. You know, and really they're the ones that it focuses on anyway. Now, they could have done a bit more with, like, you know, costume setup. I mean, if you play any of the other Sherlock Holmes games, they're all about, like, one case just being stretched out throughout the whole game. So you can only get so much out of 6 small cases. You know, you can't really do much more if you're going to do that type of plot, which I thought was fine. It was definitely different from the other games, which had these huge, you know, long, like, one case story trying to figure out all the mysteries behind it. So, is it my favorite entry in the series? Probably not. I'd probably say, I don't know. The one with Cthulhu is actually kind of interesting in the kind of that horror type of manner. The one with Arsene Lupin was fun and what that was all about. But I've liked all of Frogwares games, even if they're not perfect. So, the sad thing is there's really not a whole lot of replay value in this game, especially if you get all the clues. You could do the criminal one, or the one where you basically just put them all in jail and you're like, oh, screw them, and you get the results of like what the ending is for them. But really, there's not a whole lot of replay value. It's one of those you play once, and then maybe you touch the game again, like, you know, a year or two down the line if you've forgotten if you want to try it again. So I'd probably say send the game back. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, it was nice to have a calm, soothing game that didn't stress me the freak out like some of my other games I played before. You know, just calm puzzle games. You get what you game for, you know, and you get an interesting little look into Watson, or Sherlock Holmes, Watson, and some of the people that surround him. Not the best job, but it was a decent job for what it was. So I guess let's see what happens if I exit. It probably just goes to the, oh yeah, then we just go to the main menu. So I'll let Sherlock Holmes just hang around, float about his head. And I'll see you guys when the mail comes in. So thanks for watching, folks. I really hope you enjoyed our look at Sherlock Holmes. And I'll see you when my next game comes in. So see you then.